vote. Why I'm voting. The countdown to Election Day. Your vote is your voice.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
This is Fox Sports 1070 The Game. WTSO Madison. Available on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is Talkin' Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. Talkin' Golf is brought to you by
American Family Insurance. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve, with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. Cherokee Country Club, Madison's only private facility to offer an 18-hole golf course, indoor-outdoor tennis, pickleball, fitness center, outdoor pool, and 2 restaurants. And by Wisconsin.golf, covering the people, courses, tournaments, and golf issues in the Badger State and beyond.
Now, here are your co-hosts for Talkin' Golf, the former Wisconsin men's and women's golf coach and member of the Wisconsin Golf Hall of Fame, Dennis Tiziani, and longtime Wisconsin sportscaster Paul Brown.
From Cherokee Country Club in Madison, hello, along with, should we mention them, all four of them, or maybe we should ask? Kevin Ryan is here behind the scenes, Dave McCann, Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown. We're getting a little, what do you call it, skittish or whatever. We're down to 2 shows after tonight for the year.
Something? Where did the time go, huh? Time just went right by.
And tonight we've got an action-packed show. Jerry Kelly hopefully is going to be with us. We got to call him, and if he's not sleeping, he'll come on.
Right.
If he is sleeping and doesn't answer the phone, we've got the audio from the press conference. He did a wonderful job, and what an outstanding performance, didn't he?
He's a good player. I mean, what can you say? And he proved it right there. Because that's a big-time course now. That's not a normal rinky-dink.
2 guys under par in the entire tournament.
Yeah, he did great. He played good.
And Peggy Gerhardt's going to be on with us, the longtime high school girls coach at Edgewood. She's taken a year off in terms of coaching Edgewood. And also on the show tonight, Skip Kendall, was born and raised in Wisconsin. Has been out on the tour a long time. In fact,
We've got Jerry.
And Jerry's on with us right now. He's with us right now.
Yeah, well, Jerry, you're up.
Hey, he's up. Jerry, I got to start with it.
Hi, Jerry. How are
you? Peggy's going to be.
How you guys doing?
Good. We're good. You imagine you're great. In fact, I saw a little clip on Twitter. It says you're buying, huh?
Right. Buying what, Sarah? Buying what?
Happen with a hole in one, doesn't it?
I did see that video. He looks into the screen and says, "I'm buying," and I thought, "Whoa,
attaboy." Really good.
By the way, Peggy's going to be on in a little bit, and I got a text from her just right before the show starts. And tell Jerry his younger cousin is saving the best for last. That must mean something to you there. But I'll pass that on.
What's that? Tell me.
I don't know. We're waiting for you. What's the best?
What's the best?
Come on. I don't know.
I don't know.
I doubled the last hole.
No, that's not.
Wait.
We forgot about that. It's them other holes. 71 holes that were phenomenal.
Oh, my goodness. And
Hey,
congratulations.
I had a great shot out of that fairway bunker.
Yep.
Hit the tree and went back. And once I at least got it on the green,
Oh, yeah.
I had a tough putt. And Eric was like, it's a numbers game, Jer. 6 wins. Just pitch it out to the right. 2 putt, you're fine. I'm like, okay.
We got it. We got it.
And
That's great.
How about the hole in one? And can you clarify exactly where you stand now in this? You're the leader in the hole in one, and maybe you can explain that real quick.
Well, I mean, the funny part about it is that was my 15th.
15?
I did pass them. I did pass them a while ago, but I had to find a way to get my mom in there. So I basically just passed them, but I just passed them a few years ago.
Way to go.
But they are still tied. That's the biggest thing. And I wanted to motivate my mom to actually get one more than my dad.
Oh, there you go.
He's got work to do.
There you go. She's got work to do. She'll do it.
15 holes. How many holes in one do you
she
have?
will do
Seven,
it. Trust me.
Yeah.
You've got sevens.
I have seven.
So Jerry's got you more than 2-1.
That's all he does is play golf. I have to work. I mean,
I tell you what, he picked up his 7th victory on the PGA Tour Champions, 3 on the regular tour, 10 total. But Jerry, I would think, one of the more important things is that's when you look at that championship, that's a major. That's got to be a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. When they put that word in front of it, and there are fewer of them in the year than any other tournaments, and they're always at better courses, they are the toughest ones to win.
Yeah.
It does not substitute for a regular tour major by any means, but it is great to know that among your peers, your age group, the Champions Tour, that's the best of the best at those tournaments. And the fun part is that's the Kelly Slam. I won every major this year.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's outstanding.
Yeah.
That really is.
You guys didn't quite catch that. That's the only major this year.
I got it.
You know what? I was thinking that, but I wasn't sure, so I wasn't going to say anything. I'm not trying to alibi. Yeah.
Come on, guys, stay with me.
I thought you were supposed to be sleeping. We were sleeping.
I actually wasn't sure, and I thought, I'm not sure where to go with this one. But you obviously are having not only great success on the Champions Tour, but you got to be having a lot of fun. And at age 53 and playing the way you're playing, you could enjoy that for a number of more years, couldn't you? Doing exactly what you're doing now.
Oh, no question. I mean, that is basically, without the major on the regular tour, I think that's why I played so much, especially into my 40s, is that I was trying to solidify myself onto this tour. And I thought about that from at least the age of 40 or 42 on. So that was a goal of mine. Because of my career money on the regular tour, I'm able to play out here for a long time. And if I keep winning like I am, it'll keep me out here even longer. So, it's all about the career goals and keep moving forward. And that's what I'm trying to do.
When you think of your game and your abilities, Jerry, and the Champions Tour, how does that all fit together in terms of the success that you've had so far?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that I'm being told by both my wife and my son, my role is to hit it straight. And when that is the most demanding part of a golf course, I excel. Back in the regular tour majors, I still tried to hit it too far. I've kind of understood my role now. I'm always looking for more distance. Everybody is. That'll be an endless search. But my job is to hit the ball straight. If a ball goes 7 to 10 yards further, yet I can't control it, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use the one that gets me in the fairway. And that was essential this last week. You could not hit iron shots into these greens and around these trees and onto the ledges unless you were in the fairway. And I think that's probably, we don't have the stats without the people out here that we normally do, but I'm guessing I had to lead in fairways hit, and that's my job.
That's what the announcer said, that he was leading in fairways hit, when I was watching him. So he's got it right, especially there, Can't play from in the woods,
And you also made some big putts over the weekend, didn't you, in your mind?
Oh, there's no question. I got to tip my hat. I had one phone conversation with Dr. Craig Farnsworth, and that one conversation completely changed my setup, and it completely changed my putting. And it was amazing to him that it was like it was like a passing conversation.
Mhm.
Let's get together. Hey, what are you doing? Are you doing this? We'll try that. It changed everything for me. And I've never felt better with the putter. I'm still struggling with some of the residual reactions that I always have. But the rerouting of a putter head isn't happening. I still want to look at it, but I am much more consistent with the stroke of the putter head. And I got to credit it to him. It's pretty impressive.
And speaking of credit, Jerry's pretty humble about some of the stuff. And I mean, when you really think about this, he joined the tour in '96, went through some years where it was tough to get involved in terms of competition and that kind of thing. You look at his career now, that's kind of it's a hell of a story when you really talk about it. And I mean, not being flowery, just being honest, what Jerry's been able to accomplish out on the PGA Tour and the Champions Tour.
But it's a credit to him. I've had this conversation with him. The thing about it, this is his life. There is no other going on to be an accountant or some other job. This was his job, and he stayed with it and became the best at his job. But even today, I mean, he doesn't have aspirations of going to the moon or anything like that. He aspires to be a professional golfer and to win on the PGA Tour, now the Senior Tour. So, that's where the credit is. He's been one-dimensional in that respect, that's what he wants to do. He wants to be a professional golfer.
Do you have the same enthusiasm today? Now, maybe this is not the right day to ask you that question based on the weekend, but for the sport and the wanting to continue to play with that same desire and that kind of thing, is it there today like it was 10 years ago, or is it stronger now even?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's stronger now. I think it's tempered. I mean, looking back at what Tiz was just talking about, it's one thing to have that goal to, hey, this is your one job, this is what you want to do. But what I take from Tiz is, hey, I am gritty enough. I'm going after it. Right. I'm taking no prisoners. Tiz, you've got that belly burn, and when we talk, I get fired up all the time because that's what it takes to really do it. I did not have as much talent. I wanted it so much, and sometimes on the regular tour, that wanting it too much kind of hurt me a little bit. Yet now that I've kind of pulled myself into perspective a little bit and really started enjoying the job rather than just having it be a job, I can still have that burn, yet there's perspective there.
Right.
And that's a big thing for me. Just knowing, hey, I'm going back to my wife, I'm going back to my son, my family. I'm okay.
Right.
Whatever happens, I'm okay, but I really want to do this thing. Right.
That's right, exactly. And we talked about, and I mentioned to you about the leadership qualities that you're showing to all these young players. Now, this is Madison, Wisconsin. Jerry is from Madison, Wisconsin. There's not too many people who made it on the big tour or any place from Madison, Wisconsin. So you think of all the people. I've got people right out here, and they brought it up. Geez, Jerry did this, Jerry did that. I wish I could get to the tour. I said, well, but the fact is that he's putting that burn, that inspiration to these young people that are here. He's on the board of directors of the First Tee also. So, there's where we're going, trying to get these people to do it. And if there's a big thing for me, and he knows my priorities of faith and family and stuff, and
he's got them together.
He's got it together. That's right. And that's what I'm talking about. So he knows how I feel about him from day one. My thing about his has never changed about Jerry Kelly and his contribution to golf, not only to the world, but in Madison, Wisconsin.
Jerry, I tell you what, eventually when you decide to retire, maybe you could play in a senior hockey league in Madison or something that. Lace them up. Or maybe you could become a color commentator.
I've talked with all the boys about that.
Is that right?
And I just had, one of the caddies that I was one of the Pro-Am partners last week that I was playing with. And it's like adult leagues, no thanks. It's guys who wanted to be there and, want to use their stick way too much.
Yeah.
When the NHL players come back to Madison and they want to skate,
yeah,
I like to skate with those guys because they get beat up for a living and all they want to do is look pretty and have fun and skate around and be in good shape.
There you go.
When they let me on the ice on their hallowed ground with those guys,
That's right.
Pavs and Gilbert and Burrish and, shooting on Elliott and all these guys. I mean, I've had so much fun. That Jeffrey on Classic was one of the best times of my life. So.
Well, if you don't want to get on the ice,
I definitely want to lace them up.
Well, if you don't want to lace them up, you could probably sit in the broadcast booth and do color. There you go. There you go, huh?
The only thing is, there's no way that I would take the place of Robbie Andre.
There you go.
He was the best.
That's
all I know.
He was.
Jerry, thanks for your time. Congratulations on the win, and Madison's proud. Good luck this weekend. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. Tiz, always thanks for the support, buddy.
You bet.
That's Jerry Kelly. We'll be back with Peggy, and maybe we'll get the official response to what her text was here in a minute, right after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
3, 2, 1. Grab your phone because now is your chance to win $1,000. Text the keyword money to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's money to 200-200.
Now that's a parking spot.
Introducing the I may have underestimated the size of my car policy with accident forgiveness from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly. Get a quote. Find an agent. Visit amfam.com.
Optional policy features not included in base policies. Review policy for coverages and exclusions. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
A cherished family visit looks different today at Oak Park Place, but the feelings of love and support haven't changed. The focus is always on resident health and safety. Thank you to the families for finding unique ways during difficult times to connect with loved ones while maintaining physical distance. A wave and a smile from outside, a yard sign with a special message, all to bring joy to the residents. They have locations on Madison's east side in the Nakoma neighborhood, Janesville, Baraboo, Oak Creek, and Wauwatosa. Visit oakparkplace.com.
4.
Wow, you're terrible at golf. Who taught you?
I Googled it.
You need to meet with Tiz.
What's a Tiz?
Dennis Tiziani, Wisconsin Golf Hall of Famer. He has over 50 years of playing and teaching experience with a ridiculous list of championships and champions. Maybe you could be his next protege.
Where can I find him?
At the golf range at Cherokee Country Club.
Well, what if I'm not a member at Cherokee Country Club?
Well, the golf range is open to the public, but have you ever thought about becoming a member? They have a new membership program where you can pay for what you play, whether you play once a week, once a month, or just want an unlimited option.
Wow, sounds like an ace in the hole. Where do I sign up?
Just call me, Kristen the Piston, at 608-241-8788, and I'll get you all teed up.
Cherokee Country Club is the only club in Madison to offer indoor and outdoor tennis, swimming pool, and social individual, family, and junior memberships. Call Kristen today at 608-241-8788. Cherokee Country Club. Pay for what you play.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. This is another one of those nights where the real show is when the commercials are on.
Oh, boy.
You're in rare form tonight, I'm telling you. Holy smokes. And Peggy Gerhardt is with us, and Peggy, the longtime coach of the girls team at Madison Edgewood. Peggy, welcome to the show. First of all, before we talk about girls golf, I wasn't exactly sure on your text, so maybe you could explain what you were texting and your relationship with Jerry.
Hi, and thanks for having me, you guys. Jerry, our dads are brothers, so my maiden name is Kelly, and we grew up together, and we had a lot of fun on the golf course, and I taught him everything.
Yeah, had a good girl.
That's
yeah,
what I
watched him yesterday, and we're close, and it's great.
Peggy, that's what I thought it said, but I wasn't sure exactly that you meant that, and I was not about to tell Jerry that there. So I figured I'll let you.
I'm used to that. We have a good teasing relationship.
You had to be happy then and for him, and he's had a wonderful career, has he not?
Oh yes, absolutely. Been such a long career too, and so fun to watch. Jerry and Steve both. Me growing up as one of Nikki's one of my best friends, as Tiz would know, and then having my own cousin. It's just like amazing here in Madison.
Peggy, the longtime coach, as I mentioned, at Madison Edgewood, her teams have won 13 WIAA girls state titles. Congratulations on that. You decided to take a leave of absence for coaching the team this fall. Correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently the decision was partly based on the COVID-19 situation.
Yeah, it was a number of different reasons. First, I lost my dad recently, unfortunately, and that, of course, puts anyone in sort of an emotional state. My dad was a big golfer and a supporter of my coaching, but it's been a little more challenging than I thought it would be. So there's that factor, and the COVID factor is big for me. I won't say that I know more because I've had personal experience, but I do think it affects people more when they have known people that have had it. And I've known quite a few family and friends that have had it, gone through it, watched it happen. And I think it's affected me to where maybe I would bring that emotion to the team in more of a negative way, where I couldn't really separate my emotions from good, safe golf. And I do think golf can be safe in this environment, but it's going to take a lot in a team school environment to do that. It's not like just going to the course and leaving like they're doing in the junior foundation tour. It's more team oriented. So you're going to have more groupings. A coach, like for me, a touchy-feely coach, I'm going to be, in their bubble and there's travel. And so there's some factors that I just felt like I wasn't in a place where I could really do a good job managing that, but I do think it can be done, if that makes sense.
It does.
And in a nutshell, Peggy, what's the status of boys and girls high school golf coming up for this fall? Is there a quick way to explain exactly what's going on?
Yeah, actually, Edgewood hasn't decided which season the WIA just gave us the date for we can pick a season. So girls golf's in the fall, but we can also pick spring this year. But we'd have to share it with 5 weeks of it with the boys. And so I think about half and half split around the state doing this, which is a little complicated. So yeah, that's kind of the deal so far. And I think we're going to push towards fall, but I won't know that until tomorrow.
How's this affecting everybody in terms of the participants, the parents, the coaches, the schools? What's the overall reaction to what's going on?
Well, it's very split. So I think it's also straining a lot of relationships. I think in general, you're going to see staff and teachers, and they're a little wary. They want to see the kids, but they're a little worried, because the kids aren't affected with the virus as much, and the teachers would be more affected. I would say there's just a lot of different opinions flying around, as you can probably see in everyday life right now.
You look back at the 13 titles and the other years of your coaching and reflect on the 13 championships. What comes to mind for you that maybe you're most proud of, or what stands out for you as some of the highlights of those championships?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would say the seasons before the championships are the ones that stand out. So when I have years where I have a girl who's only played for 2 years and comes on, and then by senior year is on varsity and is part of a state championship team. That's really cool. Also, every team is different. So every year is every championship is a little different as far as how they react or how they went about doing it, when we have kind of a set, goal system that we like to use. But it's really interesting just to get to know all the different girls and all the different personalities.
Tiz, I want you to jump in on this one too, and you and Peggy, I think, can have a little discussion on this one. You've talked about this before on the show. Coaching girls is obviously different than it is coaching boys. There's a lot of different things. For an example, boys' physical strengths are different. Girls may be more emotional, whether that's fair or not, in that judgment and those kind of things. Dedication, practice habits. Basically, what you're saying is the coaching is different versus men or women, boys and girls, right?
Well, you have to get into their bubble. Women are more adept for golf than men are. They are more supple. They have better concentration. Right. They have better retention. They have everything better except for strength. And that's something that we worked on, of course, the strength part. But, they hear different, see different, smell different. They do everything different. And you need to get into that bubble. She's a woman, so she would understand. But it took me a while to get into that, to understand that, man, they're different. But if we could just give them encouragement, the one thing you don't want to do is, it's 2 pats on the back and 1 slap on the butt, that type of thing. I mean, they are about approval. They're not, when I have the guys, what are you doing? So it's not that way with when I had the girls team. It's, wow, that was really good. What an opportunity. You're in the sand trap. You can't hold it out of the sand trap unless you hit it in there, right? Well, there you go. So they were, it was that type of stuff. Well, a little bit about that, you take people like Derek Schnarr, and you take people like our friend here, if in our city, that thank goodness we have people like this that are turning young people on for golf. And we've got them here in the city. And this is a good thing. And winning those championships, that's a culmination, like she said. It's those relationships that you have, and some that she's going to have forever. I mean, I have girls who text me now and they send me pictures of their kids, and will you teach my son? Would you teach my daughter? I still have my notes from 30 years ago. I mean, on and on it goes. I don't get those from the men's team. Very few, but a lot of them from the women's team. So very important what she's doing.
Peggy, what's your response to that, or your philosophy in terms of coaching girls?
I mean, he's spot on. I of course, Tiz knows women's golf and girls golf, and that's why people like to work with him, because he gets it. And I agree. I'd say the best part about this job is to get to know each person individually and learn to coach them based on what I learn about them. Now, obviously, I have my basic rules and drills and things like that, but that's the most exciting thing, is to teach so many of these dynamic women. It's phenomenal, in the relationships, and I learn from them. You have to learn from your players, otherwise you're never gonna get better. And so I think that's been so great. The relationships, and there's so many different ones at different levels of golf in high school.
We're chatting with Peggy Gerhardt, who's the women's golf coach at Madison Edgewood. Peggy, in working with the girls over the years, have they changed in terms of, let's look at social media, commitment to the sport, that kind of thing? Have you had to change a little bit, or are you basically the same?
Yeah, really big change. And, I don't want to sound negative towards, they're kind of a product of their generation, but it's a really big change. The social media, they don't want to take the time to play 4-hour rounds, without their phone. I think, and then I also think it's just, it's definitely, the work ethic is definitely not as strong. And I don't like to sound negative, because there are exceptions to that, but, I do feel like there's been a change overall. So it's always a special time when I get someone like Grace Welch, who was not like that, But I mean, with all due respect to all my girls, they were all fantastic, but it's different.
How would you two describe the growth of golf, women's golf today? We'll start with Tiz.
I think it's. I agree with what she's saying. It's that commitment. I can go backwards where we had people that's all they did was eat, sleep, and breathe. That now it's a different game. Now we have. There's a bigger acceptance for failure. There's a bigger acceptance for high scores and double bogeys than before, because they can pick up and go. Now, I use that always as a real positive thing, because I just hated to see them down, to get up. I mean, it's the next shot. I mean, all good players have short memories. They don't think about those things there. They keep on moving, but I got to tell one story, and it relates to women. When we were recruiting these players come in and dad's belly is right against the table. He's talking and yakking how good his daughter is. He's going on and on and on. And finally, when I have enough, I say, no,
that don't take very long either.
No, a couple of times. And I said, sir, I'll do respect to you, but the athletic chromosome is an X. So you had nothing to do with her athletic ability. And mom just bellied right up to the day. Now we're cooking, see? And what I was getting to is that's the person, and I don't want to relate it to this. We relate it to deer hunting. The reason why there are big bucks is because they're super does. The reason why we got good golfers, right, is because we got super women that are moving them down the corridor.
Peggy, I don't know where to go with. I don't know where to go with that one. That's an analogy from the golf perspective. That
I love it. That's a big women's supporter of golf.
There it is. That's right. Right there.
Go girls. Man.
Go girls is right.
And I'm going to end the interview by thanking you for your time and tell you that I suspected you would never do in helping coach somebody, as Tiz will do on the range. If you're hitting balls, he might walk by and watch you hit a few and go, "That's better than you are."
That's right.
That happens a lot.
Tiz is the most positive reinforcer I've seen on the range. So actually, I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peggy.
For him.
Thanks, Peggy. Thanks very much.
Appreciate you being on.
Thanks a lot.
We'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new personal auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that your dreams mean the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Dave Gary with the Princeton Clubs. A great round of golf requires the right club at the right time. Here in Wisconsin, the Princeton Club is the right club at the right time. If you want to improve your game, give us a call for custom golf fitness programs. We work with all types of golfers to increase flexibility, core strength, stamina, and overall fitness.
I've got Gary on the line.
For more information, go to princetonclub.net.
This is Gary D'Amato with Killarney Golf Media. Check out our coverage of golf in Wisconsin and beyond on wisconsin.golf. We cover people, courses, tournaments, issues, and trends. Anything and everything that impacts golf in our state. And keep listening to The Golf Effect for expert analysis, topical dialogue, and great guests. Between wisconsin.golf and The Golf Effect, we've got you covered.
Sculpted by glaciers, played by champions. The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, is open for play and awaiting your arrival. The Robert Trent Jones Jr. design, University Ridge, is now offering 18-hole walking green fees for as low as $46 plus tax any Monday through Thursday. This 18-hole rate won't last long, so visit universityridge.com or call 608-845-7000 to reserve your tee time. Play where the Badgers and the pros play. University Ridge.
The golf season is in full swing, and so is Nevada Bob's. No more curbside deliveries or drop-offs. You get the full in-store service from Joel and his staff. New or used clubs, they got them. Putters, balls, shoes, hats, and apparel for men, women, and kids. Nevada Bob's has you covered. Replace those old grips with new ones. Get a new bag or a high-tech pull cart. Top flight service with a smile. It's like Joel says,
your game, your store, Nevada Bob's, always at the best price.
Back on Talking Golf from the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and hopefully we're going to chat with Gary D'Amato, who's at the Wisconsin State Open. That's a big event, and this is the 100th year of the State Open in the state here. You won that.
I did. I think the guy who won the first State Open is from Blue Mound.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's a little bit about that. It's a great place. You know, they played a PGA championship there one year back in 34 or 43 or something like that.
Steve won it 5 times, right?
5 times, yeah.
You won it. Larry won it, right? Mario won it.
Mario, I think, won twice.
And we're going to have Skip Kendall on in a little bit. He won it a couple of times back in 88 and 89 and that kind of
Good
thing.
player,
So,
except he went to Las Vegas. Other than that, it was pretty good, you know.
and Gary D'Amato is at that tournament. And I could think we're trying to reach Gary, right, David? We're trying to make contact with him, but
he's probably
doing his he's probably doing his job, and he's
Gary's on the
probably
line.
interviewing.
Probably out hitting balls.
Any word?
We have Gary.
Oh, we do have Gary. Okay,
Oh,
all right,
man.
we have Gary. Gary, it's been an interesting show. Peggy Gerhardt's been on, and Jerry Kelly's been on, and Tiz is in rare form tonight. So
Now
be
we're-
careful here.
Now we're digging in the weeds.
Yeah.
We got D'Amato on.
We're in the rough now.
We're in
huh?
the rough now.
How do we get out of the rough?
How do we get out of the rough? How's it going down there?
It's going really well.
Yeah.
Blue Mound, I heard you just talking about what a great place it is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
When you have Skip on in a little while, ask him how fast the greens are.
Is
They're
that right?
Really, really fast.
Really?
I think they're rolling about 13 and a half on the stent meter.
I heard that you have
Even
to have.
faster than Milwaukee's were a couple weeks ago.
I heard you had to have spikes on your shoes or you'll slide off. Is that right?
Yeah, just and good pin positions too. Yeah, the leaders are shot 4 under 66.
Yeah,
couple guys.
Good score there.
And not a ton of guys under par. So Skip and Mark Wilson both shot 1 under.
Well, those are 2 pretty good boys, though. You know, a lot of experience there, and 2 good players, and both from Wisconsin. Unfortunately, Milwaukee, but they're from Wisconsin.
Boy, he's picking on everybody tonight. I'm telling you what.
Well, we had a tour winner from Madison, you know, this week.
But it's a special week, isn't it,
Oh, yeah.
Gary, from the standpoint of this is the 100th year of the tournament.
Yeah, ton of history here. Dennis just alluded to it. Gene Sarazen won a PGA here.
Yeah.
Babe Didrikson Saharius won a Women's Western Open here. I think Carrie Middlecoff won here, one of the Miller High Life Opens, and even Walter Hagen won a Western Amateur or Western Open here years and years and many years ago, 100 years ago. So it's a special. You can feel the history here, and it's just every blade of grass is perfect. It's it's something else. This place.
We're chatting with Gary D'Amato from Wisconsin.golf, the senior writer. And if you're looking for a golf site in the state of Wisconsin and want to know what's going on in Wisconsin golf as well as nationally and internationally, that's the place to go. It's Wisconsin.golf. Take a look at the site if you haven't. Gary, from the COVID-19 perspective, how is it covering the State Open? Normal way of covering that tournament, I would suspect today, is a lot different than in past years when you obviously had spectators and that type of thing. From your perspective, how is it?
It's a little different when you first pull in because there's security, and the only spectators allowed are people who come in with a player, who arrive and leave with a player. So in other words, mom and dad or caddy or brother or whatever. But if you just drive in without a player, you're going to get turned away. So there aren't as many spectators, although a lot of members turned out. Members can obviously come out here and watch. So, and there were quite a few members here today. So, and then in the clubhouse you have to wear the mask, and you see people in masks quite a bit, but not on the golf course, obviously. And once you get on the golf course, it's pretty much like covering any tournament I've ever covered. I don't really notice anything different, except a lot of guys are leaving the flagstick in. Some guys are pulling it, and some guys are leaving it in.
Mm-hmm.
How about the media coverage?
There was a guy here from the Appleton Post-Crescent today, and I think Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is going to have someone here tomorrow. I saw a TV camera, and then me. So that's it. So there's 3 or 4 or 5 media people per day. There might be more on the final round Wednesday. We'll see, but not too many media people here.
How about Jerry Kelly's or the win for him yesterday? What's your thoughts in that area?
Man. Yeah, so happy for Jerry. You know, I as long as you guys, but I go back with Jerry to maybe 91 or 92 when he was playing in the GMO. You know, the first couple times, and boy, we both had a lot more hair back then. But yeah, really happy for Jerry to see him pull out a victory in a major championship on the Champions Tour, and he played great, and you know, could afford to make a double bogey on the last hole, so it didn't hurt. I'm sure he was a little disappointed to do that, but in the grand scheme, it didn't matter, and I'm very happy for him.
Jerry's now got 15 holes in one. Tiz has got 7. I've got one that nobody saw but me, so I don't have any. How many have you got, Gary?
I have 0. In fact, I've only seen one in my life. All the golf I've covered, all the tour events I've covered, you know, and the good players I've watched, you'd think I'd see one here or there. I've only seen one. It was on a golf trip with a buddy.
You got to kind of hit. You got to hit the
Missouri.
green first.
That's it.
You got to hit the green, then you can make a hole in one. But if you never hit the green, you're.
That's the hard part.
That's it. You'll probably get one at Augusta someday. Wouldn't that be something?
Oh man, good dying go to heaven.
Number 12, hit it past the hole and suck it back in. And when the pin is way on, when the pin is way on the right, you know,
I have to hit it short and let it bounce.
You have to wait for the water to freeze, huh? And then you got to freeze down there.
Exactly.
One final thought. You've done a number of articles on Skip Kendall. Anything you can relate that we can have a little fun with him with in a couple of minutes here when we have him on?
Yeah, you know, he's transitioning into teaching and coaching, and in fact, he played today with one of his students, Hunter. He's working with Hunter Eichhorn, the #1 player at Marquette. But you know what? I still see a little competitive fire in Skip. I think it's very important for him to play well here this week. He shot 69, but he wasn't happy with the way he hit the ball. So, but tease him a little bit about the green speed. He said these greens were faster than anything he's ever putted except 1 year. He said the Memorial got him at about 15 on the stimp meter. But he said these greens are as fast as anything he's putted on. But I think he still loves to compete. So you might get a little digging on him on that.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your time, and thanks a lot for being on the show, and good luck covering the tournament.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
All
Gary.
right. That's Gary D'Amato, and we'll be back with Skip Kendall after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network. A cherished family visit looks different today at Oak Park Place, but the feelings of love and support haven't changed. The focus is always on resident health and safety. Thank you to the families for finding unique ways during difficult times to connect with loved ones while maintaining physical distance. A wave and a smile from outside, a yard sign with a special message, all to bring joy to the residents. They have locations on Madison's east side in the Nakoma neighborhood, Janesville, Baraboo, Oak Creek, and Wauwatosa. Visit oakparkplace.com.
Play the best-kept secret in Wisconsin golf, Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells. This Herdston and Pride design not only features stunning views from elevated tee boxes, but it also showcases the natural beauty of the surrounding area that will dazzle your senses. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike many places you played before. A true test of golf for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time online today and see what you've been missing at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
And then I have Skip on the
Hi,
line.
this is Dave Gary with the Princeton Clubs. A great round of golf requires the right club at the right time. Here in Wisconsin, the Princeton Club is the right club at the right time. If you want to improve your game, give us a call for custom golf fitness programs. We work with all types of golfers to increase flexibility, core strength, stamina, and overall fitness.
We're committed to excellence, the Princeton Club.
For more information, go to princetonclub.net.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European.
Yes, as
Imagine
far as I can
yourself
count, we
behind
got
the wheel
this is
of a
the fourth break, and
Mercedes-Benz,
you got one
Audi,
more
or
after
Porsche.
this.
More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or
Yes,
Porsche
there is one
today.
more set of spot
Visit
blocks
Zimbrick
after this.
European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Hey, Lauren, you ready for things to get back to normal yet?
Yeah, I really am. I really miss hanging out with my friends and family, going out to eat, and sporting events.
You should check out Cherokee Country Club this year. You can enjoy sports at a safe distance with our golf range, indoor-outdoor tennis, swimming, and beautiful 18-hole golf course. Also, our sports lounge is open to the public. Have you tried their Friday night fish fry?
No, I haven't. I think that's something my family and I can really enjoy. I'm going to tell my friends about it. Where can we sign up?
Call me, Kristen, at 608-241-8788.
Cherokee Country Club. Pay for what you play.
And we're back on Talking Golf from the Golf Effect Radio Network from Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown. And Skip Kendall is joining us now. Skip originally went to high school in Wisconsin, same high school as Oprah Winfrey. Did you know that?
Is that right?
I don't know what that's worth.
Is that his
Skip?
claim to fame? I wouldn't claim that. But
Hey guys, how are you?
good. How's it going, Skipper?
Hey,
Well,
we
that was
hear.
quite an opening. I meet Oprah, right?
Quite an opening.
I think she's a little more famous than me.
I hear the
How are you
green.
guys?
We're good. I hear the greens were a little slow over there today, huh?
Is that right?
Wow, unbelievable. I got there on Friday. I played Friday afternoon. I'm coming from Florida where the green speed is about 7 on the stem. I hit my first putt off the green. I was like, not Florida anymore.
Well, you were under par today. How'd you play in your mind?
Well, I really haven't played much golf, and certainly not any competitive golf. And I am absolutely thrilled with the score. It was sloppy in spots, but hung in there and still in the golf tournament. So hopefully I can clean it up a little bit more. I mean, this is the kind of course like you guys were talking about where you can play good and shoot 2, 3, 4 over par.
Right.
So today I just kind of hung in there and made birdies on the last couple of holes to get it under par. So I'm thrilled.
You won a couple of state opens back in '88 and '89. Any memories from those couple of years?
That was a long time ago. The last state open I played in was 30 years ago. So I do remember that one well, actually, because I was on my way to three-peating and had a very poor finish and kind of handed the title to Steve. So that one kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. But, it's funny how you remember that one more than the other ones that you won. But anyway, it was, listen, I'm so happy to be back here playing the 100th annual one. And, Blue Mountain, they've done such a terrific job in getting into shape. And I'm just, I'm hats off to them and Barry Lindhart, the director of golf, and all the guys at the Wisconsin PGA. They've just done a fabulous job to showcase this event this year.
We're chatting with Skip Kendall, and Skip turned pro back in '87. He was at Korn Ferry on their tour in 1991, the PGA Tour, and then the Champions Tour in 2014. And Skip, as you reflect on your years of playing professional and competitive golf, what comes to mind when you think about the years of competition and how you did overall?
Well, I think, some of the things that, that I'm most proud of is, that I had longevity out there. It was kind of a step-by-step process for me. I mean, I turned professional in '87, but like most of us, especially from Wisconsin, it took us a while to, get out onto the PGA Tour. And I kind of consider myself as kind of an average college player. Didn't really do too much, and I'm not sure, people were expecting much out of me. And I think that kind of fueled the fire as well for me. And I just, I worked my butt off for about 5 years and, finally broke through and, at Q School in '92 and, was a rookie in '93. I think, coming from here, especially back then, when we didn't have the indoor facilities that are available now to people up in the north, I think it was for me, and certainly my stature and, I certainly wasn't the longest. I'm kind of proud of the fact that I stayed out there for a while and just with what I had.
certainly wasn't the most physically talented, and stayed out there with, good course management and certainly a good short game and wedge play and good putting. So I think those are kind of the things that I'll reflect back on, and certainly, just being with the guys. I think that I'm not going to play too much, I don't think, anymore, and I think that it's the one thing that I miss is being in the competitive arena with the guys, and going head to head every week, and having a beer after. It's kind of unless you're Tiger Woods, he might go work out, but us older guys, we're not going to do that. So anyway, it's been great though. It's been a great ride.
What did you learn about yourself as a player and as a person on the tour? What did it do for you?
Well, you certainly have to grow up pretty quick. You find yourself in hotel rooms quite often, and you certainly have to make your time useful. I mean, you could, go pretty stir crazy. I mean, it's a lonely road, and that's, one of the things that, like I was talking about before, that you cherish, be there with the guys. And of course, when you get to the tour, your family, if you're married and have kids, they join you. And, I'm not sure. I mean, other than, you grow up, you change from college to having not that much responsibility to it's all on you, and you grow up pretty quick.
Now you're transitioning, so to speak, to instruction and that type of thing, teaching. Give us a little summary of the new venture and your approach and thoughts about going into that aspect of the golf business.
Well, leading up into before I started playing the Champions Tour, I was kind of going back and forth. I played a lot on the Korn Ferry Tour. I, just wanted to stay competitive before I turned 50, and, kind of sprinkled in some tour events, but I was mainly playing out there. I noticed, when you go up and down a range tee, you see all the kids hitting balls. And I say kids, I mean, they're kids. I mean, they're, just out of college, or they're young. It seems to be what's going on in golf right now, because it's such a power game. But they all look like they're number one in the world. And, the sound is great, and they have great golf swings. But then I went out and played with a lot of them, and the vast majority of them still didn't know how to play. Didn't know how to hit certain shots in certain situations. And, it's certainly something that you learn or you're taught, but it just wasn't quite happening. And so that kind of got my, the wheels spinning for me, thinking that, these kids are really good, but they just hadn't quite gotten there yet. So that kind of fueled the fire. And a couple of years after that, when I was playing on the Champions Tour, I was asked by a mom of a girl she was basically a phenom, but she wasn't quite her mom didn't feel she was quite getting what she needed. So she asked if I would start working with her, and one thing led to another, and she was phenomenal. I mean, she was a dream to work with because she was already so good, but, just adding to it, and she won a couple of AGA events, and she was pretty special though. And then one led to two, and so on and so forth. And now we have our own academy at the Marriott World Center in Orlando. It's the Orlando Golf Academy. I'm probably training about 15 professionals, 5 really nice college players, and some really good juniors too. So, if I can straighten their path just a little bit, mine was a total zigzag. So if I could straighten their path from some of the things that I learned, and then a lot of the stuff that I learned from playing for so many years, that's kind of my goal. Certainly heavy doses of short game, mental preparation, just everything. You name it.
Tiz, we got a couple of minutes left. Any thoughts you would like to pass on to Skip in relation to instruction and that kind of thing, meaning in a helpful way? And that
absolutely. I'm so happy that he's doing that, because a lot of people who then have all those advantages and all that time out there learning about stuff are not passing it on, and that's the thing in instruction, is to be able to, what he's doing, to pass on and give people what experience has taught them. That's the best teacher, rather than say, do it this way. My point always was, this is what experience has taught me. If you want to hit it in the rough and you want to take a chance and hitting it now and hit it over the green and make a 6, or maybe we ought to try, here's what experience has taught me. Let's take this club and hit it on the front of the green, and the worst we're going to make is a par. Those are the type of things. But he's played enough to know and to give that experience. I'm sure I could have cut his experience factor short if he'd have come to Wisconsin. But he went over.
He had to get that in.
Wasn't my fault.
Say, I can't remember his name. Who was your mentor early on? He was a good friend of mine. You think I could think of his name?
We got to go, guys. Sorry.
Why?
We're out of time.
So what? Let's keep going.
Skip, all the best to you.
All right,
Thanks
buddy.
for joining us.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, I'd like to give a shout out to Jerry for winning yesterday. That was awesome. Us Wisconsin guys, we always stick together. So shout out to him for, well done yesterday.
Very good.
Very quickly, how many holes in one have you got? Jerry's got 15 now.
I have 13.
Wow.
There you go.
We'll
Lucky
be back.
number 13.
Wow,
He
you
passed me
guys,
up, and I'm still
you guys
short of
are
a comp. I like
unbelievable.
that.
We'll be back after
All
this
right.
time out on the Golf Effect Radio
See you,
Network.
Skipper.
Sculpted by glaciers, played by champions. The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, is open for play and awaiting your arrival. The Robert Trent Jones Jr. design, University Ridge, is now offering 18-hole walking green fees for as low as $46 plus tax any Monday through Thursday. This 18-hole rate won't last long, so visit universityridge.com or call 608-845-7000 to reserve your tee time. Play.
We're going to come back at 58, so you're going to have about 2 minutes.
Parking spot.
Introducing the I may have underestimated the size of my car policy with accident forgiveness from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly. Get a quote. Find an agent. Visit amfam.com.
Optional policy features not included in base policies. Review policy for coverages and exclusions. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Play the best kept secret in Wisconsin golf. Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells. This Herdston and Pride design not only features stunning views from elevated tee boxes, but it also showcases the natural beauty of the surrounding area that will dazzle your senses. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike many places you played before. A true test of golf for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time online today and see what you've been missing at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Hello, this is Paul Brown. On behalf of Dennis Tiziani and myself, we would like to thank American Family Insurance Company and the Stricker Foundation for allowing us to help them raise money for the Birdies for Health campaign during the last 2 American Family Insurance Championship tournaments. Because of their backing and our efforts of promoting the Birdies for Health campaign, we were able to raise more than $120,000 for Alzheimer's research at UW Hospital. Obviously, that successful effort would never have happened without the very generous support of people in the Badger State and around the country. Not only are we very grateful for the support, but you should know that 100% of the money raised for research went to the Alzheimer's and Dementia Research Center at UW Hospital. Even though the American Family Insurance Championship won't be held this summer, we will look forward to next year's tournament, where we, along with your help, will continue the fight to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease.
Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown. Tiz, if you've got a bad habit with your golf game, whatever it is.
Do I have a bad habit?
Whatever the bad habit is, how do you get rid of it? How do you get, if you're, say there's a shot that it's really not good and you're consistent. What do you do with bad habits?
Well, first of all, as I said before, all good players have a short memory. It's the next shot that counts. Put the club in the bag and walk on. You want to learn about 2, discipline and motivation. Those are the 2 things that make in any sport that you have to have. Discipline is don't throw the club, don't bang the ground, put the club away. Motivation is then next shot, because it's the next shot that counts.
1 minute. Should you hover your club say around the tee ball in the air, is there an advantage to do that? You see some people do it, others don't.
Well, it's a good thing that, normally when it's like that and you hold it up here, the conscious effort is the club head follows you to the right. Normally, sometime when it's on the ground, you'll move it with your hands, and now you're following the club to the right. It's behind you. It's a bad shot right from the word go. So hovering it is good. Jack Nicklaus used to do that.
For Dave McCann, Kevin Ryan, Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown, and that one's in the books. And that one is really in the books, I think. And we'll be back a couple of more shows, and then we're done for the season. But thank you for joining us, and that is Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network.